On August 10th, 2022, during the Splatoon 3 Direct, the world was introduced to the brand new up-and-coming idol group known as Deep Cut. Comprised of 3 distinct members, the musical trio exploded in popularity both within the game and real life. Shiver, Fry, and Big Man instantly became fan-favorite characters within the community, cementing themselves as worthy contenders to the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook. As much as the fan base adores the talented group, there lies one idol member amongst the rest that started off with such promising potential, but over time has quickly become a polarizing figure, leaving the community split in half. Shiver Hohojiro, the cold-blooded, fierce, yet compassionate Octoling, is one of, if not the most controversial character to ever exist across the entirety of the franchise. The sheer amount of drama, backlash, and divisive opinions generated from her sole existence, as well as the involvement with the third installment, is unprecedented given how sudden it all happened with no prior warning. It's truly a fascinating sight to behold, how a seemingly innocent idol created with the purpose of entertaining the audience through their music, performances, and character interactions can have such disastrous long-term consequences. Before I continue any further, I do want to make it clear that despite the reputation Shiver has nowadays, she actively remains a well-liked, beloved individual with tremendous support from her followers. If you are a Shiver fan like myself, embrace it and please don't let the negative incidents detract you from appreciating this icon. With all that said, let us conduct a deep dive analysis on each controversial event thus far. Immediately following the release of the Splatoon 3 Direct, numerous fans were quick to notice a small yet consequential detail that questioned Shiver's true gender identity. Upon scouring her dialogue from the presentation and official social media posts, there was a distinct lack of gender pronouns for this character despite them being available for Fry and Big Man. Although there was an implied reference to her female status discovered on a promotional Nintendo Portugal Twitter post, the lack of proper confirmation led to a plethora of individuals assuming her gender identity to be open-ended and up to interpretation. As the discussion drew in more public attention, thanks in large part to the rampant debates taking place alongside prominent news outlets and journalists covering the story, Nintendo eventually stepped in to settle things once and for all, definitively confirming Shiver's gender identity to be female, along with her utilizing matching pronouns within her in-game dialogue. When looking back on this controversial piece of Splatoon 3 history, it's interesting how a minor aspect that would have been overlooked by the general audience instead spiraled into a multi-sided argument that transcended the Splatoon community, morphing into a mainstream spectacle. While this incident eventually faded from the public conscience, little did anyone know that a one-off event announced in the exact Direct would change the perception of this Octoling forever. On August 25th, 2022, the long-awaited Splatoon 3 Splatfest world premiere event began. This 12-hour online demo gave players a proper first glimpse of the game, granting access to explore the new Splatsville hub area, customize your Inkling and Octoling characters' gear and weapon through the limited selection provided, as well as, you guessed it, being able to participate in online Splatfest matches. The theming behind this event was based on which rock, paper, or scissors option was the best, with each deep cut idol representing an individually assigned team. Now, up until this point, every Splatoon game only had 2 Splatfest teams. However, Splatoon 3 was planning on changing the previously established formula to instead include 3 total teams this time around. Not only that, but a new mode called Tricolor Turf War was introduced in order to allow each team to compete in a single match, being placed on either an offensive or defensive position and representing a new result category. At the time, all of these new additions felt revolutionary and a natural way to evolve the old system. Although once the Splatfest world premiere event ended and future Splatfest proceeded, several issues quickly became apparent, with the biggest one being the lack of proper balancing. This leads us back to Shiver. Unlike her fellow idol members, a majority of the Splatfest teams associated with her dominated the competition, consistently achieving several winning results. This prevalent string of success began to divide the community further and further apart. Every time the results screen displayed Shiver as being the victor of a Splatfest event became known, public outrage would ensue across different social media platforms. An astronomical number of various claims regarding Splatfest being rigged were made as an attempt to explain why she kept winning. The notable ones that came to mind were Shiver's popularity in Japan overrided other territory results, thus giving her an advantage, the developers associating her with a favorable team, and a selective part of the fanbase only choosing Shiver's team for Splatfest regardless of whatever the theming was. Despite all of this, there were individuals who were defending her, believing the hatred she had been receiving was completely unjustified. Their reasoning centered on the improper balancing likely being a result of poor handling and foresight of newly introduced and updated Splatfest mechanics, Japan's influence representing no detrimental effects on the events given that she had stronger winning results in other territories during regional Splatfest, and team preferences because of an idol not being exclusive to Shiver given that it's happened with other idol members in the past. Regardless, she did inevitably experience a few losses, leading to some social media users to rejoice. This brought up even more controversy as a double standard cycle was forming. In other words, every time Shiver won a Splatfest, public outcry would ensue. Yet if she lost a Splatfest, there would be celebratory reactions. Once again, arguments sparked within the community. Although these events have slowly begun winding down, they do still occasionally happen, which means several of these issues and community outbreaks unfortunately persist to this very day with no signs of stopping anytime soon. From now until the end of time, Shiver will remain as one of, if not the most controversial Splatoon character to ever exist in the series. Regardless of the numerous differing opinions towards this Octoling, she will always continue to be my favorite idol. Controversies aside, her wonderful singing talents, one-of-a-kind personality, and excellent character design are all traits that make her a fan favorite idol for a reason. Going forward, I hope Shiver is portrayed in a more positive light and does not get associated with any future controversies. Either way, thank you all so much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it, and please don't forget to help the channel grow by subscribing and clicking the like button. Anyways, this is Krill signing off.